This is my story. In the beginning, I was an unplanned pregnancy and miracle child as well. Then when I was born, I needed head surgeries due to my head sutures were closed, and so one surgery at 3 months old to open my head sutures and 5 years old to close them. In addition, I had seizures and I've gone through special education. Growing up as a Christian, I grew up going to church on Sundays with my mom and siblings. My dad was in business trips at the time, so at the same time, I did not pursue to build my personal relationship with God or making friends because I didn't know how for a long time. I never made friends back in my time in special education and school as well because it was hard and difficult. Fast forward around the end of 2013, eventually I have learned to make some friendships while I was in high school. A friend of mine invited me to her church. I found a community of people within the same age and young adult range, but I barely made those relationships due to differences of me being in special education. And around 2015, I had an impactful conversation with my mom about my birth story. And around that time, I remember feeling in awe about God's presence in my life during that time. Like, He told me I am chosen, I'm loved, enough, and belong. So I started to build my own relationship with God. However, I was still in the place of not having a stable community, which was hard for me to know about God in a community context. In 2016, while being in the same church, I found my first close group of friends of some guys and a girl who are young adult, but we departed due to different life priorities. I remember going through a lot of emotion breakdowns. In addition, thinking, was I good enough to be anyone's friend, especially having a side background of formerly being in special ed. There was one friend that had reached out to me from church. I've also wanted to participate in helping out the church ministry, but nothing worked out because I didn't fit in the standards of the church. In the end, my time at church, all things were crashed down. Plus, most of my friendships were in the church and Christian community settings. Although I had known about God and one big moment about my birth story, that big moment I have heard His voice from hearing about the extraordinary life events that I went through while talking with my mom about this. At the same time, I was so busy feeling convinced and feeling like a burden to people. The time I was thinking about transferring to San Jose State, I decided to go for it just to be close with my family. And in this new season, I felt like everything was all new. Everything's like a fresh start. And so around the fall semester of 2019, the time I transferred to San Jose State from a community college, I stopped believing I was even like a special ed student because that path is no longer in my life, but it will always be part of a beautiful life legacy. I decided to work on my relationship with God, and I remember telling God that I know You truly love me because You made a way for me, You chose me, and You want to build a close relationship with me. You call me worthy, chosen, and loved, and enough. So having all this information, I know and take to heart I am loved and all, but I don't see that in a community context. So this is the time I'm still trying to build my relationship with God, but things are hard at the time. And around the time I walk around San Jose State, I remember telling God, if You want me to be part of a community where there's no strict boundaries with people, You will send me a community that is truly in all of Your love and grace. You will send me a community that hurts my heart to see how beautiful Your love is. And I remember while I was walking around San Jose State, the campus, I saw SJSU Crew having an outreach event, and they were the first group event on campus. All thanks to the staff for inviting me to Crew. I've never seen such a community full of laughter and joy. I keep convincing myself this is not true at all, even for going to San Jose State after all that I went through in my life. Everyone at Crew being themselves and goofy, I was so captivated by God's love presence in the community. Since then, I got plugged into a new church and continued to connect with Crew. God did prove to me and continue to prove to me that there are communities exist where people want to get to know you and want to build a relationship with you. Through it all, I'm still learning and growing, and everything is still in progress. At the same time, I believe with all my experiences, I'm capable to have a sound mind and manage to know how to take care of myself and with the Lord, and how to take care of my friendships. I've also got to go back to building my personal relationship with God even more than I did before, plus through my love for lettering and music. And a fun fact, this year in 2020 is my family and I have also rebuilt our family bond. I felt unwanted, but now I'm in a community. That's my story. What's yours?